Hello everyone, this is Julio here from Nippon Automotive, and today I just want to give you a quick tour of the vehicle that I use for my mobile vehicle auto repair here in South Florida. Let's get it started. First off, this is my 2007 Honda Pilot EXL front wheel drive, and this is the vehicle of choice for my auto repair business. And as of this month, actually, I've been in business on my own now for 7 years, and I've been using this car for, I'd say, about 5.5. Front seat, of course, is going to be beat up or whatnot, but hey, it is my work vehicle at the end of the day. But this is my supposed office. No real modifications or anything, just, day-to-day stuff. Factory head unit and all that, phone holder, an extra flashlight, do carry a multi-tool there, and a Batman knife. Opens up both ways. Look at that. That thing's sweet. Anyway, and how many miles do I currently have on her? I'll show you. 262. One of the first tools that I use, something I got to show y'all, and this is my Gulu jump starter, and this thing is, it's great, worth every penny. Now I got something that's a little bit stronger than what maybe most people will need, but this is very strong. Turns on V6s, V8s or whatnot, no problem. Actually got it because of Project Farm's video, and this one came out to be like one of the best for the money. Not the best overall, but pretty damn close, especially for the money. And sometimes you can catch these on Amazon for sale, so I would definitely look out for them. And one of the reasons I got this one though, is especially something stronger than what I would usually use, is because before I bought this, there was a few times where I was jumping other people's vehicles and stuff, and I did it too many times where to the point where I ended up burning out my alternator. So that's what finally pushed me to pull the trigger on one of these. And this has been just absolutely great. It's awesome. Strongly recommend it. As far as the second row, this is where it gets a little crazy. So these are actually just seat covers, especially during the summer, sweaty or whatever, and if for whatever reason I got to get in the vehicle, I go ahead and pop, one of those onto the seat before I sit on it, especially if I need a test drive it for whatever reason. Makes me feel a little more comfortable to, slap that on there real quick. This is more of a trash bag thing. I got an extra bottle jack there and a ladder that's kind of hard to see. You can see the feet, obviously the bottom of it. There's a small 2-step ladder there. And this, by the way, all this here is like forever changing. I'm always trying to feng shui it somehow to get it, just efficient, get it easy to get to things and whatnot. So carry some extra Honda oil filters there. I do work mostly in Hondas and Toyotas, so I always carry those with me. When you do oil changes in Hondas and Acuras, replace those every time. Very simple, cheap insurance. Strongly recommend it. These are all my fluids. Zoom out here. These are a couple covers. This is like a small one that I put on the ground. This is a much bigger one here. These are just a lot of, there's hand wash, a lot of fluids, extra transmission fluid there, the brake lube, degreaser, that sort of thing. A couple extra, like little fluid, minor stuff at the bottom there. Some funnels. I usually do have my big 3-ton jack right here. It's sitting in my mom's Pilot at the moment. I actually had to make some room for it to carry a third person the other day, because these ladders, for example, I never have on my car, but that was from the storm from a few days ago. We're doing shutters or whatnot, so I took my floor jack out, as well as my bigger container for when I do oil changes, and just to make a little room so I can stick my dad on that seat. So I lifted that up or whatnot. It was just making a little room, but I'll be picking that stuff back up again later today. So these two containers I usually use for putting used oil or coolant in, just depending on the job. This one I try to use for coolant only, though it has been used a couple times for engine oil if for whatever reason I don't have my other container or something like that. Oh, by the way, let's see if I can make a little room just to show you. So back there, these gallons right here, that's Toyota, Honda, Toyota, Kia. That's just an aftermarket, the Zurex brand, I guess, for Ford and GM coolant. I usually like to carry the original stuff from the dealer. I don't really like to use the aftermarket stuff too much. The GM Ford one there, that was just because I was in a pinch. But I usually carry OEM coolant with me. The type of work that I do, I like to keep things as original as possible, so I try to use OEM as much as possible. On the passenger side, second row, have a container here with a bunch of extra washers or whatnot, so I use those in case I'm in a pinch with a certain vehicle. Here, it's got a couple extra just like battery chargers and stuff. This thing right here, this thing is awesome. I actually just used it before I started recording. This is also from another Project Farm video. This came out to be one of the best, fastest, and lowest temperature tire inflators that he tested. So of course, you know, this was around, I think, Black Friday last year is when I purchased this one, and it's just been awesome. I had a Ryobi one prior to that, but it was like kind of like a drill in a way, and you got to sit there and hold it, and it's a lot slower. This thing is much faster. Again, temperature is much lower. I mean, you can fill up a lot more tires with it and faster compared to Ryobi one. And, you know, if you can wait or whatnot, wait until the deals really kick in, which is what I did, then that's when I bit the bullet, or pull the trigger, so to speak, and got that. So this has been awesome for me. You know, check air pressure for customers or whatnot. So here, a bunch of extra, well, here's my Honda hat. Sometimes I wear that. Bunch of extra towels, napkins. So here's an extra towel here. That's the tool that I use for coolant, the burping the system after I do a coolant job, coolant related work on certain vehicles. This I actually got, let's see if I can show you all this. This I got from a car show a few years ago. And here's a Honda one, and for my Mazda fans, you guys know what that is. Used to own an 88 RX-7, and I missed that damn car. But anyway, got these hats from like a car show or something a few years back, and it was just perfect because, well, you know, there's a whole like Asian theme, and I work mostly in Japanese cars, and on top of that, in really like hot or sunny days, you know, I just put them on and it covered the back of my neck. So of course I can't wear it with every single little job because, you know, sometimes I got to go under a vehicle or inside, and the hat just gets in the way. But other than that, like if I'm just straight outside, it covers the back of my neck, no problem. It's awesome. And yes, I still do have the second row here. I actually just bought this recently to cover the back of the second row there. But yeah, there's the second row. Oh, I almost forgot. This net here, I do carry a couple extra stuff there, but it mostly just like extra clothes, especially like during the summer. Like I said, it's just sweating like crazy and whatever I need to change. I have extra shirts and shorts and whatnot up there. And just, yeah, just simple things like that. And I do have a little red guy that's sitting right there. It's actually a Honda umbrella that I just bought a few months ago. I went to the local dealer and they happened to have them there, and they had 3 different colors. There's the other end of it. And boy, oh boy, as soon as I seen them, I almost bought all 3 colors. But, you know, I had to hold back there a little bit, so just bought that one red one. And for the rear, where all the good stuff is, right? Here, got my Milwaukee pack out, which has helped a lot compared to a few years back when I didn't have any of this stuff. And you know, that's the thing with the whole feng shui stuff that I was mentioning earlier, is just trying to figure out a way to, you know, so I can quickly and efficiently get to things and not to over clutter, I guess you could say. To a point, it used to be much worse before I got the Milwaukee pack out, but this is, yeah, this is way better now. Again, it's kind of like almost forever changing, but this area has been the way it is now, well, for quite a while now. I haven't really messed with it too much as of late. But first off, on the side here, I do have the original jack there, but I mean, obviously you really don't use it. You use just the big, my big 3-ton jack for anything. In this container here, I usually keep just Honda related stuff, right? So I bought, these are just some clamp, like radiator hose clamps that I bought for pilots, I guess, for my generation. You know, I'm not sure exactly how many other vehicles they may fit, Honda wise or Acura wise, but bought some extra ones at some point. You just never know. Bunch of extra grenade pins from timing belt jobs I've done. A few just oddball things. These are a bunch of the, of course, the clips for bumpers or whatnot, and a bunch of washers, extra washers for like oil changes. Some I think are in there for like transmission or whatnot as well. They're just extra seals. Love to carry one of those. If your brake lights are stuck on, take a look at that. That's most likely the culprit. This is mostly just, well, this isn't like the final, I guess. This is one of the things that keeps changing around. But flatheads on this side, Phillip head screwdrivers on the right. Just some wire strippers or whatnot in the middle, mostly. That's about it with this drawer. This is, I guess you could say, my electrical type box. So battery alternator and starter tester, which is there's that, a top gun, and multimeter, extra little light, my test light, cotter pins which don't belong in here, bunch of other oddball electrical stuff, terminals or whatnot, electrical tape, that sort of thing, brushes, especially for the battery here, extra brushes that I can put on my right wheel, which you'll see in a moment. These are just mostly like silicones and that sort of thing. A couple of oddball Honda stuff, is like seals and stuff as well in there. And here, first drawer, my Ryobi. I will be throwing in another drill in here into this drawer soon. Another drill into this drawer soon. So there's that. I need to find me another divider, but I try to keep all the ratcheting, the gear wrench, ratcheting wrenches on this side. Pretty much the regular ones, a 12 point here, and these are the new ones. Well, this is actually just yeah, mostly Craftsman in Pittsburgh, and then this is all gear wrench. This is the newest set that I purchased. These are just regular 12 point, where these are 12 point ratcheting wrenches. But yep, go in here, and then final drawer on this side. My Milwaukee. This is something my brother gave me. I think this was from Harbor Freight. Not sure. This is sitting without a battery because, well, I need a new one. I just haven't purchased one yet. This still works great. I just need a new battery from DeWalt there, and then that'll be good. This little guy though is pretty strong for the size. It's awesome. Here is a lot of like my somewhat oddball, but mostly oil change related stuff and some Toyota stuff. So these are just extra, you know, nuts, bolts. You gotta always have, you know, carry extra of those around. You never know. These are just oddball stuff that I kind of use often, especially this guy. Here's my gear wrench. There's a 10 mil there. Actually, I found this a few months ago on a customer's car. and it has to be a 10, so it's just awesome. I use this all the time as well. Special tool here to do the oil changes on Toyotas. This is a Lyle tool, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. There's another oil filter removal tool. This is the oil change stickers. Oil filter wrench loosening tool, and that'll be getting replaced soon because that thing's just annoying, doesn't stay in place. I actually purposely leave a 14 and a 17 millimeter wrenches here for the oil changes because it's 17 Hondas and Acuras, 14 Toyota, Lexus, Nissan. I don't work on many Nissans, thankfully. And this is like oddball Toyota clips, whatnot, screws, and Toyota and Lexus oil drain plug washers. A crap load of those. These are to hold your floor mat in place, and here is the part number for it in case those clips break. You got a few of those, so that way I can, if I ever come across one, I can just pop them in real quick for a customer, help them out from, to help keep their floor mat from basically just being pushed closer to the pedal. This is like an oil drain with a magnet at the end. This is somewhat random as well. I got two special Motivex oil filter tools right here. There's two different sizes. Random, next to VTEC solenoid thing. Valve adjustment for the Hondas and Acuras. That tool. Can check brake fluid, see if whether or not it needs to be recommended, for replacement. If it tests out good, then hey, it's good. This one I use for coolant. Test that. Again, a few oddball tools in here. This is all the plastic removal tools for the most part. These are the tools used with the tester for the coolant pressure, which is with this little gun here. In case you're trying to find a leak and it's not obvious, well, that's the tool that I use. Those are just adapters for them. Now for this drawer. This is also kind of somewhat forever changing. By far, my favorite plier in here is, of course, the Knepex one here. Oh my god. I call it Tiger because it has some mean tiger grip. And that thing is freaking awesome. But yeah, that's like little by little this drawer is changing. Get rid of some older, cheaper ones that are not as efficient or whatnot. And as I, learn and like what's a better quality tool and all that stuff out there, well, slowly we'll replace some of these with better ones, right? These are my gear wrench sockets. This is just something so I can like quickly get to. If I need more, I have plenty. So, bunch of ratchets there, one flex head one here, extensions and a breaker bar, a 3/8 of breaker bar. This looks great. This is pretty much all extensions and just a few adapters. This right here is a special tool for the crank pulley on a Honda and Acura. Kind of hold it in place in case you need to, put some torque down on it to loosen it up. There's these are Irwin actually, and these work great. These sockets like to, loosen like a head that's been kind of somewhat marred or rusted or something like that. This tool here is the oxygen sensor removal tool. Couple of hex and Torx bits in there. That'll slowly be getting replaced hopefully soon here as well. Oddball sockets that I kind of use often. I just kind of throw them in here because, again, just trying to figure some stuff out with feng shuiing the tools. What I meant by sockets though was really this one. So these are all Craftsman on the left here. These are gear wrench, I believe. Yup, these are gear wrench. This likes to open on its own. It's been an issue for a while. They're heavy. You know, axle nuts and suspension work, that sort of thing. This was actually for in the Isuzu, one of the Isuzu NPR vans, which I have a customer that has one. And one time I had to do brakes or something. I had to go to Napa, I believe, was to find this to get the damn lug nuts off. I've only literally used it, I think, once, and it's pretty big, heavy. Bunch of sockets here, which I don't use too often, but you know, if I need a longer size socket or a different size that's different from what I usually use, I usually keep them in here. And here a bunch of swivels. These are also slowly getting replaced for better quality ones because some of them are just too flimsy. Here to the side is microfiber towels, just random stuff in that corner. Gloves underneath. I got a bunch of wrenches down there in this black bag. You can kind of see them a little bit there, that I very, very rarely ever use. So I just keep them there. This is the dual piston brake tool. My Icon torque ratchet here. Use that all the time. Torque the wheels to specification. I don't just tighten them down with a 2, 3, 500 foot-pound gun. I don't do that. That is one of my biggest pet peeves. So I tighten them slightly down just to keep it even against the hub, and then I torque it down to spec. A couple of hammers. Got an Icon big boy brake bar here. Got this Husky long ratchet. 2 pry bars. A rubber mallet, just a couple random stuff right there in those little cup things here. Jumper cables, and I'd say that's about it. And actually, just in case you have a question, in case you have this generation Pilot and you're worried about the weight, let's see if we can see that. See those like bronze colored springs? Those are from a company. Unfortunately, I can't think of the name right now. I have to find the link and maybe put in the description. But it's a Japanese company that makes heavy duty rear springs for this generation. I didn't want to heighten it or anything like that. Actually, for many years I was still on the original springs, but I noticed like a dip, about a 1-inch dip. And you know, this car, suspension wise, as far as like you know, off-roading or camping or something like that, it doesn't really have much aftermarket support. So thankfully I found this company that oh, Swift is the name. Swift Springs, yeah. Swift Springs makes these heavy-duty rear springs for this car. I put them on, and it literally went back up about 1 inch. Now again, these aren't you know, raising the vehicle at all whatsoever. They're actually about the same height as OEM, but they're just stronger, so they're made to take more weight. In this car, I mean, I've been throughout Florida, all the way, even with all the tools a few years ago, all the way up to North Carolina, and literally, like, there is just no change in its behavior whatsoever. It's just awesome. And you know, obviously this weight stays in the car, you know, it's, I'm not constantly taking things in or out or anything like that. So and technically slightly heavier than what you're seeing here, because I don't have my 3-ton jack, which weighs about 60 pounds or so. But anyway, this is my mobile or this is my vehicle that I use for the mobile auto repair setup here. And oh, actually I got a couple other little things I just noticed. Drill bits. This is just a Pittsburgh like tapping set, clean threads, that sort of thing. But anyhow, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment. If you find this information or this video helpful, please, you know, think about or consider subscribing and liking the video, but only if you find it helpful. I'm trying to figure out a way to get some meaningful information out there. I love to teach. I love to break things down, do things correctly, speak the truth, so to speak, and yeah, that's who I am. So yes, please If you have any questions or anything like that at all, please feel free to leave a comment. And hope you guys have a blessed day. Take care.